all sorts of immorality. They even had intercourse with prostitutes there. Forbidden objects were brought into the temple, and the altar was covered with detestable sacrifices prohibited by our law. It was impossible to observe the Sabbath, to celebrate any of the traditional festivals, or even so much as to admit to being a Jew. So if you don't know this history, right, which Apostle Paul clearly knew, and I got the proof because I did a chat GPT. Lord will, I can put it up in my archives, right? And ChatGPT admitted the Apostle Paul knew this history. This why he was set up as a minister to the Gentiles, the water. That's why Yahushua set him up, because of that knowledge that he had, right? He had the knowledge and he had the zeal.
And he knew the language.
But right, you know, he spoke Greek, Latin, and Hebrew. So he was able to relate to our people who had been forced into this Greek culture and customs. That's the mystery that these people don't get, and it's plain.
That's why y'all was open up, brother. I beseech you. You know what I'm saying? So he let you know that he's coming, all right, in the mindset like, hey, I know. So where it is, I just seen you. You know, trying to show me, he revealed it to me. All right? You got it.
I got the definition.
Yeah, I got it.
The Merriam-Webster dictionary. What it say for the word Gentile right there?
It says, often a person of a non-Jewish nation or a non-Jewish faith. And down there, that's the noun, but the adjective is of or relating to the nations at large as distinguished from the Jews. Also of a relating to Christians as distinguished from the Jews, of or relating to people who are not members. No, it ain't.
You and the Merriam-Webster?
Yeah, no, that's talking about the Church of Latter-day Saints.
That's one of the points that says distinguished from the Jews. That was the point. Back then, you know, back when there was a lot of people who they were, you know what I'm saying? And we knew that we were being persecuted by these heathens, you know what I'm saying? These Hamites, these Edomites, all these Gentile people that smoked Greek and took on their customs, okay?
That ain't what I was looking for, but whatever meat on there, y'all get it off of there.
You can
So, Lord willing, I find it. It's a definition that I'm looking for. Go ahead, bro.
Goes back to be 1:57. And whosoever was found within the book of the Testament, or if any committed to the law, the kings, and they're talking about the customs, it's like customs, right? The Bible, the scrolls, right? Again, from the top, goes back to be 1:57. And whosoever was found within the book of the Testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. So it was death you were found keeping your customs as an Israelite. Right? 58.
Hey, just how much more then now, because when you so-called Negroes was in captivity, you couldn't be found reading the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You'll be persecuted just like how they was being persecuted then. Come on.
And then you look at Nick Cannon, for example. He came out and said this one states to that nature. That made him one of the holidays. That he ain't. You know?
We can't even profess ourselves to be Israelites.
Profess yourself to be Israelite, man. Back then. You can't do it now. Right? So this ain't. Thus did they, by their authority, unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. For now the 5 and 20 day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar which were upon the altar of God, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death some women that had caused their children to be circumcised. Man. So the women was being put to death. Why? Because they were keeping the laws and commandments uncircumcised babies. Man.
What about the Holy Spirit? Holy Spirit.
Oh, yeah, the word was Hellenes. That is right. When you go Hellenes, yeah. If you go to the word Greek, right? Matter of fact, when we get the scripture, then I'll bring this out.
Alright. This
The
one
difference between Jew and Greek.
And they hang the infants about their necks, and rifle their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and conformed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore they rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meat, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died, and there was very great wrath upon Israel. So that just goes to the history of it, man. Our forefathers were willing to die than to eat some chitlins or some unclean meat, right? Eat some pork. So these Greeks, that was killing us, slaying us, man. You know, and he wanted everybody to follow his commandments, come on to his new world order, man. So we've been Hellenized, man. We couldn't keep our laws, man. So you got to know the history to understand the mystery. So when you jump to the New Testament, then you will realize, okay, neither Jew nor Greek. They the same, why? Because they're Israelites, man.
Hey, get Acts 21. Go Acts 21 up and read.
Y'all boys got it. You got it.
Brother got that precept.
First Corinthians 2 and Gentile.
You know the difference between Jew and Greek. Get the word for Greek.
Now, I think,
Also, Brother Adam, I got Acts. We got precept in here.
This is Galatians 2.
Oh, that's it.
Galatians 2, I'm starting at 14. It says, but when I saw that they walked not uprightly according to the truth of the gospel, I said unto Peter before them all, if thou, being a Jew, liveth after the manner of Gentiles,
Living after the manner of Gentiles.
yep,
What our people were doing. Right. They was living after the manner of the Gentiles. Go ahead.
and it says, and not as do the Jews, why compellest thou the Gentiles to live as do the Jews? And basically what he's saying is because the Jews, they was what? They kept the law. All right? But you got to remember, Yahweh Shah sent the Apostle Paul to bind the Israelite foreigners back. You have to back in by what? By faith. All right? But remember, Peter went to the house of the circumcision. Apostle Paul was sent up to go to the house of the uncircumcision. All right? So basically, what he's saying is, you can't allow them to go by the law, because what? They rehearse the heathen way. All right? But to drop them back into Yahweh Shai is all about faith. That's why I'm going to say this in verse 15. We who are Jews by nature, and not sinners of the Gentiles, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law. That's why Yahweh Shai was sent forth, to save us. So we're not justified by the law. And that's why Apostle Paul was going to the Israelite foreigners through Galatians and Cappadocia, Rome. All right? Because now it's through Yahweh Shai that you're able to receive salvation. It's not through the law. That's what you got there with, the new covenant. All right? And it says, but by faith in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, even we have believed in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, that we might be justified by faith in Mashiach, and not by the works of the law, but by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified. You see? By the works of the law, you can't be justified, but through Yahweh Shai, you are justified. You know, and that's why he was sent to the Israelite foreigners, to bring them out of their bondage, because the law will keep you in bondage. You see?
Yeah. And then ultimately why Apostle Paul was persecuting the church is because that was the standard of being a Jew according to the wicked Pharisees. If you wasn't keeping the law, then you weren't a Jew.
You want that's
So
it.
they were demonizing the church. The Israelites that were in those manner of life according to the Greeks, they was condemning them. And Apostle Paul, once he encountered Yahushua enlightened him, right? He gave him the insight. Then he knew what he was doing was wrong. Right? So he literally was his as well as edifying the church of Galatians, saying, he was telling them, look, because they knew who he was. They knew in his past life he was a straight demon under them. Which he understood, like, okay, in order for me to reach out to these people, I got to reconcile and let them know, look, now I understand that I was boasting in me keeping of the law and looking down upon y'all, but really, you can't use the law as a weapon in this ministry. Because we all, so can we get Romans 10 and 12? Because we all guilty, right? We all guilty. Because none of us have ever kept the law 100%. So we all need Yahushua at the end of the day to fulfill that gap, right? We all have a gap way further than we can cover. Ain't nobody cover that gap with Yahushua. When it comes to the sins of our past life, the sins of today, and the sins of the future. Because we still are in a sinful nature. So we are subject to faith in Yahushua to be saved. That's ultimately what we need. But, like Apostle Paul said, do we then make void the law through faith? The Most High forbid. No, we establish the law. Okay? So, Apostle Paul is at perfect balance. Go ahead, bro.
This is Romans chapter 10, verse 12.
And who got the word Greek right there? Get it. One of y'all boys on this side. Go ahead.
For there's no difference between the Jew and the Greek. For the same Lord of the law is different to all that are apart.
To me, that's talking about the heathens. It's actually talking about the Israelites during that period that were in those Greek lifestyles. That's what that was referring to. We're gonna prove it. Get this word Greek right here. Right? So what's the Greek word for Greek?
This is the word Greek from the Blue Letter Bible, and the Greek word is Helen.
Helen. Right? Go ahead.
The outline of biblical usage, the Greek either by nationality, whether a native of the mainland of the Greek islands or colonists. It said, in a wider sense, the name embraced all nations, not Jews, that made the language, customs, and learning of the Greek their own.
That's it. So if the Jews took on the Greek customs and made the Greek lifestyle your own, you were identified as a Greek. That's why when I was listening to Apostle Hart today, he said, well, the nigga say he a Gentile, then he a Gentile. That's all it takes for you to be a Gentile, is to say you a Gentile, nigga. That's it. But that's what Timothy's father was embracing. He was embracing the Greek culture. He did not accept his Jew identity, you know, his identity as a Jew. He accepted his identity as a Greek. That's just like our people today. They won't accept the fact that they Israelites. They accept that they
African American.
I'm an African American. I'm black, like Charleston White. I ain't no Hebrew. I'm a nigga. So, all right, nigga, you a nigga. We ain't trying to force you to accept your inheritance. You can forfeit your inheritance. Thank you. Like my brother Yock say, better eye chances. More for me, niggas. Fuck you. So we ain't trying to force you to accept your inheritance because we can't. This inheritance in this time is only for the elect. But it's elect amongst these heathens. That's why I want Acts 21. It's elect amongst the heathen that a great work is being done to pull them out of those lifestyles. So with the word healing in the go ahead, bro, what you got? Go ahead.
It said, what does Hellenistic means in the Bible?
This is the AI overview. It said in the Bible, Hellenistic were Greek-speaking Jews.
Greek-speaking Jews.
Can't get around that.
That's who the Greeks are, right there. The Greek-speaking Jews. There's no difference between the Jews that spoke Hebrew and the Jews that spoke Greek. There's no difference. They still Jews. Because they was forced into that life. That was passed down to them when they was born. They didn't even know nothing about speaking Hebrew because their ancestors was forced to stop speaking Hebrew, keeping Hebrew, the customs of the Jews,
Speaking Greek.
keeping any of the holiday. They was forced into that.
Yeah.
Why you think our people so into sports?
Yeah, where you get gyms.
Yeah, athletes.
You say that,
Yeah, that's why our people are dominant in that because that's what they were given in the time of the Greeks. That's what they was given for leisure. You know, but they actually were being same thing now. They actually were being what's the word? Used, for lack of a better word. Just used like you just a toy. If you go to the word athlete, it means an action figure. Yeah. Playman. You say playman, plowman, playman. You a playman. It means something I play with. We want you to make a play. Play for me. Playman. That's what athlete means. Jake be running around with athlete on their chest like it's a fucking trophy. Like I'm an athlete. Nigga, you a playman. You a plowman. You a slave.
Nobody wrong. You had the Coliseum.
Yeah. You had the
Jake was used for what? They were used for gladiators. Yeah, gladiators, but it's like entertainment.
Yeah. They would take gladiator games. Yeah. But where they were trained at, they showed you in what's that? Spartacus. They showed they would call it a lunista or something like that. And they really was training naked. They was naked. That's what gym means. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what the word gym means, naked. That's why when you go to these gyms, shit, you want to see the fine women, fuck the club. They naked in there. Tight.
Young pants showing everything.
Yeah.
They look at that camel toe.
Yeah.
Then you wonder why, you know what I'm saying, you getting them looks.
Yeah. Adultery spirits. Adultery spirits in the gym, man. A lot of them women be married.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
I ain't getting the attention they want at home.
Yeah. You got the trainer up on them, you know.
A whole married woman, you in there spotting.
Yeah, hey, quick.
Go ahead.
This athlete in the etymology, a competitor at athletic games and contests, a wrestler, athlete, a prize fighter.
Prize fighter.
That's all Jake have been in all the captivities for Esau. You know, look at them, the movie Django. They showing that it was even, you know, in this time.
Ran up the tree.
Yeah, but remember the other thing, they had fought in front of the master.
That's what I'm talking about. No, he was the one that won. And he was trying to leave. Well, he got it, bro.
He was the same one?
Yeah.
They let the dogs eat up and shit?
I forgot his name, but he tried to leave.
No, that was a different one, wasn't it? But they let the dogs eat his ass.
Nah, that wasn't D'Artagnan wouldn't fight right there. That was Eskimo Joe.
Yeah.
Right.
That was Eskimo Joe.
But the fight that went on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was
In the house.
Yeah, make first
In front of the freaks.
And they say playman.
Playman. There you go. Playman.
So it's been always going on.
Yeah. That's why you see old boy with the Clippers. Steve, look how excited he get. Well, Terrence will eat a man.
Billy Crystal.
Yeah. That nigga ain't got no rhythm. No flavor.
I remember the Jake. Remember he got mad at Magic Johnson. Well, he wasn't Jake, but he got mad at Magic Johnson for talking to a woman.
Well, why you gotta talk to him? Oh yeah. The old Clippers, owner. Before Steve, yeah. I forgot his name.
David
Sterling, yeah. Yup.
They made a movie, a TV show about that, with starring Al Bundy. The guy who played Al Bundy.
For sure.
Yeah.
I need to check that out. Yup. Let's get back to it, fellas. We was at Helen. There's more on there. Did you get that? Let him read that again. Then it's one in the Merriam-Webster too.
Yeah, I got the word Hellenist.
Yeah, Hellenist in the Merriam-Webster.
Yeah, I got it in the Compact Bible Edition.
Okay, you get that too. It's the word Greek, Acts 21. We're gonna start around 19.
It said, what does Hellenist means in the Bible? AI overview. In the Bible, Hellenists were Greek-speaking Jews who had